Hello, so our Data Madness project is about the impact of the VAR in the Premier League for the 2019-2020 season. Just to quickly mention, VAR means Video Assistant Referee, and it was introduced because it's very hard for a referee to see all the 22 players on the pitch and make sure to give the right call. Being a Chelsea fan, I want to see if the VAR influenced their positioning in the league. So with my group members, we hopped on the big wide web and found two data sets on ESPN for the type of incidents that the VAR was used and the team stats. So like how many goals were overturned due to offside calls by VAR, etc. So we dived in straight away by looking at all our beautiful data and cleaning it up to have the most efficient data set for our queries. We then proceeded by analysing how many kinds of incidents were called and how often they occurred over the whole season. We discovered VAR was used a grand total of 109 times, mostly due to goals ruled offside or for handballs that turned into penalties. We can note that only 5 teams didn't have a penalty awarded by VAR last season, and it may come as a surprise that Liverpool were one of these teams since they were the league winners. Our next question was, are there gaps between the number of overturned decisions and for and against each team? So again, we conducted a little experiment and drew up these 3 lovely charts. The first being a graph showing decisions that don't lead to goals. Crystal Palace and Manchester United stand out since they have most calls in their favour. The second is decisions leading to goals, more often penalties. West Ham were unlucky. And finally, the third is for disallowed goals, and we can see Manchester United being in favour since they had a lot of goals disallowed against them. And last question was, in which situations during the game is VAR most used? So we first wanted to see if there was a month where the VAR was mostly used, but to our surprise, we saw nothing in March, April, May, and then remembered this thing called COVID, which then made it all clear for us. We then analysed the VAR use in the football match and noticed that the VAR is more frequently used in the second half. So we then tried to make the analysis deeper by making the bin size smaller, and we see a peak at the 75th minute, which seems very logical since it's the last quarter of an hour before the game ends and the player go ham. And finally, but not least, we wanted to see if there was a pattern in the type of incidents, but as we can see, it's purely random. So to conclude, Chelsea weren't advantaged by VAR, nor were they disadvantaged. However, thanks to data analysis, we can safely say now that Manchester United have been favoured quite a bit by VAR and that they aren't that amazing of a team.